And a big thank you to our sponsor, Brightbound, for supporting this conversation. Brightbound is reimagining career readiness, helping middle and high school students explore their passions, try out career paths, and make confident decisions about their future. Well, it seems the GOP has discovered a new get-out-the-vote strategy for Gen Z. If you can't beat hip-hop, book it. What started with a few walk-on rally cameos is now a whole pipeline, from Kodak Black, pardon in hand, to Nicki Minaj doing a full-on MAGA heel turn, praising President Trump and Vice President Vance at Turning Point's America Fest. Real talk, Nicki's pivot felt sudden. Like, is this a PR stunt, a personal crisis, or a political calculation? Maybe it was all three. Whatever the motivation, it's undeniably useful to Republicans who've been courting youth culture optics for a decade. Now, they're getting them from big names in entertainment to the stars of the streets. Here's why it matters. Gen Z is now the largest eligible voting bloc. Combined with millennials, they're set to make up more than half the electorate in 2028. Yes, the youngest voters are traditionally the less engaged, but when they do move, they swing fast and hard. Here's proof. Data shows that during the 2024 election, young voters, especially young men, shifted right compared to 2020. Harris still won under 30 voters overall, but by a much smaller margin, with more men under 30 voting for Trump than anyone expected. Now, let's talk about black voters and separate myths from math. You've heard black turnout always leads the nation, but not lately. Yes, 92% of black women voted for then Vice President Kamala Harris, but overall, black voter turnout has dipped since 2012. At the same time, turnout among white voters rose. Black voters remain overwhelmingly Democratic, but the GOP's share has grown. Depending on the data set, in 2024, Trump won about 16% of black voters overall, including a larger slice of black men. That's still a minority, but in battleground states, small shifts matter. So let the music play. Hip-hop's audience is broad and massively Gen Z skewed. Recently, the right has embraced Nicki Minaj, who has openly embraced them back, upsetting one part of her online fandom, but visibly moving the other. We're seeing posts from some of the barbs saying they're going Republican. And even if that's a slice of a slice, campaigns are often built on the margins. And then there's NBA YoungBoy, whose Make America Slime Again movement is a cosign for Trump and his policies. If you want to talk about raw cultural leverage, as of January, the Recording Industry Association of America says he's the most certified rapper in history, with 126 plaques. If a strategy like this activates even 2% of his audience, that's a shift that can decide a House seat, a governor's race, or maybe even the White House. Now, let's be clear. No one's arguing the right will flip all black Gen Z voters. That's not the point. The point is margins. In 2024, GOP gains among black voters and young men were small but decisive, compounded by Democrats' chronic youth turnout problem. If Democrats keep talking past audiences beyond their core, they'll keep losing those margins. And underneath all of this is a harder, older truth. Black political power lives inside a broken electoral system. We say blackness isn't a monolith, but our choices are often compressed through gerrymandering, poll closures, voter ID rules, and structural barriers that fall heaviest on communities of color. If the new right-wing youth strategy meets an old architecture of suppression, we've got to ask, why are we still married to a system that dulls our collective voice? So yeah, we can clown the optics, the awkward stage selfies, the sudden Patriot Core fits. But optics convert when the other side is telling a story and showing up where you don't. If the left wants to win Gen Z, including black Gen Z, it needs to show up culturally, invest materially, and organize consistently. Because the right sure is. We know the problem, now let's get to the root of it. I'm Paris Alston, and this is Rooted.